Lineup, which is brought to you by TikTok. It starts on TikTok, and it starts with DJ LeMahieu playing first base. Giancarlo Stanton, the number 2 hitter, he's the DH. Aaron Judge drops to number 3, and the first time batting in the 3-hole since 2017. He's in right field. Gleyber Torres at short. Gio Urshela, the third baseman, will bat 5th, and look what he's done in the last 5 games. Clint Frazier back in the lineup in left field. Rougned Odor at second. Kyle Higashioka will catch, and Mike Tautman's in center field, and he is going to bat 9th, and they're going to face the left-hander, Robbie Ray, Paul.
Yeah, Robbie Ray, I mean, this is his opening start after a freak accident, falling down the stairs, holding his little guy. He's making his first start of the season. The good news is his child was okay, but his shoulder wasn't. So one or the other. Well, a lot of strikeouts and a lot of walks. Percentage-wise, 30.5, 5th highest in the MLB since 2016. The only problem is a lot of walks. Number 1 in the MLB with 11.5%. But they need him. I mean, this pitching staff is kind of up in the air, and they need him to get back to his days like he was with the Diamondbacks out in Arizona, where he was a 15-game winner in 2017.
Now let's take a look at the Blue Jays defense presented by Geico. Gurriel, Grichuk, and Palacios. That's left to right in the outfield. Infield, Biggio, Bichette, Semien, and Guerrero Jr. That's third to first. Alejandro Kirk behind the plate, and Robbie Ray is on the mound. Robbie Ray, the first player to sign as a free agent this year, signed a 1-year, $8 million deal with the Toronto Blue Jays. So LeMahieu's ready. Ray is ready. And let's do it in Dunedin, Florida. The first pitch is in there for a strike. We're underway. Hunter Wendelstedt, the home plate umpire. Eric Backus at first. Trip Gibson at second. And the veteran crew chief, Jerry Lane, is the third base ump. One and one. LeMahieu last 31 games against the Blue Jays, hitting .386 with 9 homers and 27 ribbies. Now, the Blue Jays are playing in their spring training ballpark. They're not able to play games in Toronto just yet. And they'll stay down there until about June when it gets too hot to play. And then they'll move to Buffalo and Salem Field, where they played last year, all of their home games. Strike 3, and LeMahieu thought that was low. Let's check out the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers. So illuminate us, Paul.
Well, you got to get ahead early. These are the top 2 bullpens in the American League, so you need to get a lead early, and it's cold day. Anytime that Cole is on the mound as the Yankees, you need to win. You got to win when your horse is out there, especially when you start a series with him. And, you know, it was a great win yesterday. Use that momentum to take this series.
First pitch to Stanton is swung on and missed, 0-1. Now the Yankees lost 2 of 3 to Toronto in the season opening series at the stadium. Now, Paul, you have played in this ballpark when you were with the Yankees, and can you imagine playing a big league game that counted in this ballpark?
Well, they did a little facelift there in like 2020, but it is a minor league ballpark, and the first thing that comes to my mind is the lighting probably isn't quite as good as it should be, and you know, they're actually doing some things in Buffalo as we speak to make the lights a little bit better there. But you know, it used to be a huge hitter's park, a short right field, and you love to go over there. I played there for many years in the minor leagues all the way through the major league spring trainings.
And there are the dimensions: 328 left field line, 327 right field line. The gap, 375 in left center, but it's really short in right center, 354. Center field is also reachable. The 2-2 to Stanton. And we'll keep an eye on these 3 games, Paul. This is a single deck spring training ballpark. It's tough on outfielders when they don't have that second and third deck to gauge fly balls.
Yeah, it's, you see shadows here. You see, it is a minor league ballpark. It's just not set up for, major league players to be playing with large crowds. And, we'll see how it plays. You're right, Michael.
And really, it is nobody's fault. It's not the Blue Jays' fault. But the Blue Jays have now had 3 different venues for the start of their season in 3 successive years. Rogers Center, Salem Field, TD, and that's only happened once before in big league history. The Boston Braves did it, South End grounds. At the end of 1914, they moved to Fenway Park for the World Series because they could accommodate more people. Then they started at Fenway Park the next year. A good play there by Guerrero, and he beat Stanton to the bag, and then Braves Park opened after that. So two-way here in the first inning as Stanton grounds out the first, and that'll bring up Aaron Judge.
Ball away. Stanton does a good job of putting it in play. You see Vlad just kind of olay. It happened in his glove. Ending up in the pocket, but a good play by Guerrero and a smart thing just to beat Stanton to the bag.
And here's Judge, first time hitting in the 3-hole since September 24th, 2017, and that also was against Toronto. Played in the last 2 games against the Tampa Bay Rays. And also to clarify, the reason the Blue Jays are playing here, it's hard to get into Canada without having a 2-week isolation period. And the rollout of the vaccine there has been very, very slow. So in the NHL, they have the Canadian teams playing each other during the regular season. And the teams in the States staying there, they're not traveling back and forth. So we all cross our fingers and hope that things get better and that the Blue Jays can eventually get back to Rogers Center. For now, it's TD Ballpark, then Salem Field. 2-1 on Judge. Skied the other way.
Michael, we talk a lot about teams and how they move around, and we were talking about this ballpark. The Toronto Blue Jays have been training ever since they started. 1977 was their first year here in spring training, and a lot of times you see, as the Yankees did, move from Fort Lauderdale to Tampa, but in Dunedin, the Blue Jays have been a staple there for a long time.
And a lot of people from Canada, specifically the province of Ontario, they retire and move to Dunedin. There's a lot of what we call snowbirds that end up locating to Dunedin. It's a very small, quaint city in Florida. What would you say, Paul? It's about 40 minutes from Tampa? Maybe a little less, right?
Yeah, more of kind of a sleepy beach town, much smaller than Tampa, obviously.
Fly ball, Palacios runs it down, and the Yankees go down in order. 1, 2, 3. So it's the Yankees nothing, and the Toronto Blue Jays coming to bat. By TikTok, it starts on TikTok. Blue Jays are 4-5. Simeon leads off. Bichette at short. Vlad Guerrero's gotten off to a great start. First baseman hits third. Cleaning up, center fielder Randall Grichuk. Kevin Biggio at third base. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. in left field batting 6th. Rowdy Tellez, the DH, is going to bat 7th. Batting 8th and catching, Alejandro Kirk. And a kid from New York City, Josh Palacios. He's from Brooklyn. He's playing right field, and he is going to bat 9th. And he's going to face, they're all going to face Garrett Cole. 2 starts, 1-0, 1.46. Brilliant last time out, Paul.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, and that starts the scattering part. Hot Cole. 13 strikeouts and no earned runs. That's a pretty good start. And Jay fan, he wasn't a Blue Jay fan. He was a Yankee fan. We've seen the pictures when he was a young kid. But Jay fan, he likes pitching against Toronto. He's two or fewer earned runs in all 3 of his career starts. And this is interesting to me, Michael, if this continues, a little different mix. You know about his fastball, you know about his breaking ball, but he's using his changeup a lot more percentage-wise so far this year. See if that continues.
Here is Semien. And that one has popped up. Higashioka looking for it, finding it, and making the play. 1 pitch, 1 out. Why don't we check out the Yankee defense presented by Geico? You've seen Higashioka behind the plate. It's Urshela, Torres, Odor, and LeMahieu. Third to first. In the outfield, Frazier, Talkman, and Judge.
Well, I'll tell you what, Michael, just from our view in the camera here, you could see how left field right now would be extremely hard. Sun just coming down over the stands. Real bright out in left field. Very tough to pick up the baseball as a left fielder.
Now, many of the Blue Jays that, as Paul mentioned, have trained here since becoming Blue Jays say that the sun sets right in the third baseman's eyes. And there was one spring training game where Josh Donaldson misplayed 3 balls in 1 inning because of it. And it'll be interesting to see on Wednesday, an afternoon game that starts at 1, how that will impact Gio Urshela and Kevin Biggio.
Michael, I remember playing in Wisconsin in the minor leagues, and most baseball fields are all built the same direction, so the sun goes down, it doesn't cause an issue. There was a sun delay every game. It was like 7:15 to 7. It was like a half an hour where you would start the game and then go sit in the dugout until the sun went down because the hitter couldn't see. It was going down in center field the way the field was built. So it was a crazy experience to know you were going to have a delay after you started the game every day.
There's a base hit to right field as Bo Bichette picks up a single. Now has a 9-game hitting streak with that single to right. He's 11 for his last 34.
And Garrett Cole trying to get a fastball by him, ends up in the middle of the plate. And Bo Bichette is just one of those guys, a young hitter, not a lot of movement. He can get to a fastball, no problem. And, the Toronto Blue Jays have not really uncorked their offense other than their last game against the Angels where they threw up 15. But, they expect huge numbers from this young offense.
Here is Vlad Guerrero Jr. And that's blocked there by Higashioka. Guerrero's gotten off to a great start, and it's a testament to him. Worked really hard during the offseason, lost upwards of 40 pounds. He was a little out of shape last year, and he wants to reclaim, all that potential that people had heaped upon him when he first came up. Yesterday, the game with the Angels got rained out, and the Yankees obviously played in a dome in St. Pete. But it was a heavy rain, and then Garrett Cole was asked if he was concerned about it. He said, well, I'm sure they covered my office. And I know that used to always annoy you, Paul, right? Because they would dump the water from the tarp in right field.
They figured I have enough problems defensively. Just go ahead and dump the water there, too. Slider doesn't quite bite there, but I never understood that. I said, why not ever in left field? It was always just dump all the water in right field.
3-0 on Guerrero. Bichette leads off first. There's a strike. Well, Garrett Cole has been the anchor, the ace of the Yankee starting rotation. He has a 1.46 ERA in his 2 starts. And the rest of the starters, well, they're chipping in at a 5.28 ERA.
Yeah, I know it's early, and there's big aspirations for this pitching staff, but there are guys that they need to build up, and Kluber and Tyon, I'm anxious to see him throw tomorrow, but Garrett Cole is that one guy that you pretty much know what you're going to get on a daily basis.
Well, the rock for the Yankees, other than Cole, has been their bullpen. Their bullpen has been great, a 1.73 ERA. Snap throw to first, diving back is Bichette, and shockingly, because it was a big question mark, the Blue Jay bullpen has really done a good job with a 2.25 ERA. And here's the play at first. Chopped right side and through for a base hit. Moving to third is Bichette. And the Blue Jays have runners on first and third with one man out.
Well, you talk about just situational hitting. I mean, Vlad Guerrero, he can hit the ball out of the ballpark, no doubt about it. But with that hole open on the right side, every once in a while, if you just fight a ball off, it'll find its way to right field. Bichette gets a good read on it, first to third, but, kind of beat on a fastball, but definitely trying to hit the ball the other way. Look at that hole on the right side. You see Bichette needs no help. I mean, when you're running and you see that 2-3 hopper go through the infield, you're going to coast into third base. It's just a great piece of hitting by Guerrero.
Well, Guerrero's now reached in all 10 games, and here's Randall Grichuk. There's a strike. Grichuk's play has actually helped them get through the loss of George Springer. So Springer missed the beginning of the season with a left oblique strain, and Paul then he's running in the outfield getting ready, and then a right quad problem last week, so that usually takes a while, a quad. Blocked there by Higashioka. Runner stays at third, and Guerrero moves to second.
Well, Higgy is so good defensively. I mean, as a backup, you just wonder, defensively, it's pretty much textbook. Everything gets the glove the wrong way there, but stays in front of it, keeps the ball in front of him, and saves a run to this point.
Well, that scored a wild pitch. And the Yankees will give up a run unless it's hit to the corners. They're in. Torres and Odor are back. That one is grounded to short. Run scores. Now, if it wasn't for the wild pitch and you believe in the fallacy of the predetermined outcome, that could have been a double play, but it's 1-0 Blue Jays.
I tell you what, you hold your breath every time Grichuk comes up. He's got great numbers for the year, but he is an absolute Yankee killer. And he drives in the first run for the Jays tonight.
Boy, you're right about that, Paul. Since 2018, he has 15 home runs against the Yankees. 15. Here's Kevin Biggio. Oh, and 1.
Yeah, Biggio, one of the young guys I expect big things from. You see, off to a terrible start. 143. He's hit a couple home runs, but right there you see just guessing, dead fastball. Cole throwing that breaking ball and just waving at it.
Oh, and 2 quickly on Biggio. Chasing Guerrero back. Yankees have a shift on for the lefty swinging Biggio as Torres is not quite behind second, just a bit on the shortstop side. And Odor is on the outfield grass at second base. Swing and a miss, got him. 99 miles an hour. But the Blue Jays get a run on 2 hits, 1 big wild pitch, 1 man left. We go to the second, 1-0 Toronto.
With all that's going on in Minneapolis, he's having a tough time right now. And, had a conversation in my office, and he just felt like it was best to not be in the starting lineup tonight. And I certainly support that. And, try and rally around him the best we can. And obviously, the situation that, is heartbreaking right now and in Minneapolis. And I think, it's hit Aaron particularly hard.
Aaron Boone explaining why Aaron Hicks is not in the game, and because of what's happening in Minneapolis, MLB, NBA, NHL all postponed their games today, worried about the safety of the fans, the employees, the players, and just worried in general. So Aaron Hicks was not able to go today. Giancarlo Stanton had told Aaron Boone there might be a chance that he might not feel up to playing, but he decided to stay in the lineup, and he is in the lineup today. But Hicks has been given the night off.
And Michael, also noteworthy, Aaron Hicks did come out and take batting practice. He was in the last group. Aaron Boone was also asked whether or not Hicks would be available off the bench, and he said he was just going to have to wait and see, that he would have a conversation prior to the start of the game.
3-1. 3-2 on Gleyber Torres. So for those that were expecting the Nets and the Timberwolves on yes 2, as we mentioned, that game has been postponed. (3-2). A little bit low. Ray wanted that one, but Gleyber Torres works a walk on a pitch very close, and you can see Ray asking Wendell said exactly where that was, and he said it was low.
Well, it's a borderline pitch, no doubt about it. As a hitter, you love to hear ball 4. I've seen this called, and I've seen it go as ball 4, but the ball was definitely a little bit low.
So how do you follow a 4-hit game? Let's see what Gio Urshela has in store as he digs in. Now, Paul, you might hear that every time Robbie Ray delivers a pitch, he lets out a very loud grunt. And he said it just helps me keep forcing all the air out when I'm delivering the pitch. It keeps my body tight, keeps everything compact and in line, and also it's just a way for me to just release everything into the pitch. And when he was in Arizona, he said that Mike Butcher, his pitching coach, told him, I need you to get after it. Stop thinking, stop feeling for things, and just start getting after it. And the grunting is part of it. Would that annoy you as a hitter, Paul?
Well, there were a few guys that I remember. I mean, Nolan Ryan did it in his heyday, but, you didn't say a word about it because he'd grunt one right into your ribs, too, if you didn't like it. But, some pitchers will, grunt at times. You hear tennis players, you hear, some athletes do that to throw everything they have, like he said, into the pitch.
Well, yeah, Gleyber leaning, and Gleyber did just get back.
Now, the one that bothers you, Michael, is when you hear the grunt and you get a changeup. And it's like, all right, really? You're going to grunt as you throw me a changeup? No, come on.
Now, you're a pretty good tennis player. Do you grunt when you serve?
No, I never got into that. I'm getting to the point where I can't serve hard enough to even force a grunt out.
1-1. 2-1.
Michael, I have to say, this is almost like old times. I came up here and looked at the monitor. You're firing down a piece of pizza, a little Coke. I see Audrey in the background there. This is like old times, like we're almost getting back to normal.
There you go. There's one. And there's two. And around the horn double play started by Biggio. Well, let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 75 degrees, and that's just exactly what it feels like. Very little chance of rain. And the wind is out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour. Well, here's Clint Frazier. He's not been in the lineup the last 2 games. And he's back again tonight playing left field. And there's a strike. Clint got off to a great start, and then for 3 games he seemed a little bit out of sync. And you figure that would get him 1 day off. Instead, it got him 2 days off because Brett Gardner was very effective filling in. But with 2 lefties in a row here, you know you're going to see Frazier. And let's see if he could get back on track. That one he slices foul. Kirk going through the signs. There's that grunt, 96 miles an hour, 1 and 2. Pretty good
Ray
pitch.
trying to get that inside corner. Just missed. He'll feature that good 95-96 and then follow it up with a breaking ball. The ball off the plate away.
Ray did a great job in spring training. 4 spring training starts, 18 strikeouts, 1.98 ERA. But toward the end of spring training, he fell down the steps carrying his young son and hurt his elbow. Missed a couple of starts, and this is his first start of the year. So Frazier's worked the count full at 3 and 2. And the pitch. And he works a walk. Second walk of the inning for the Yankees against Ray.
We talked about it in the scouting report. A lot of strikeouts and a lot of walks. He just does not have pinpoint control. The Yankees with the double play are going to help him with a couple outs. But again, Clint Frazier good at bat, sliced one the other way, and took a couple close pitches.
And now here's Rougned Odor in the lineup for the second straight game after getting that big hit in the 10th inning in the Yankees' 8-4 victory yesterday against Tampa Bay. The breaking ball strike on the outside corner. One and one.
Hey, look at Wendell's stat, and these balls off the plate. He's been very consistent on not giving balls off the plate. Every once in a while, the lower part of the strike zone is kind of a 50-50, but inside and out, he's been very consistent.
1 and 2. Now Ray threw 63 pitches in a sim game. That was on Wednesday. So maybe they bump that up 10, 15, where he gets 75, 78, but not much more than that. Grounded up the middle. Simeon to Bichette. And that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the second. Agent signee for the Blue Jays, March 23rd, grade 2 left oblique strain. That healed a little quicker than those injuries do, and he was getting ready, running in the outfield. Then April 6th, low-grade right quad strain. He's day-to-day, definitely ruled out for this series. 1-0 Blue Jays in the bottom of the second inning. Gurriel, Tellez, and Kirk against Garrett Cole. And a strike.
See Garrett Cole right there, hung a breaking ball, but got away with it because the first 2 pitches were 96, 97. So you didn't have to make your best slider, but that's not the one he wanted. The one that he likes, especially with 2 strikes, one that starts out over the outside part of the plate and ends up as a ball.
1-2. The Blue Jays beat the Angels Saturday into Sunday 15-1. And strangely enough, they didn't hit a home run in that game. 15 runs in this day and age, and not one ball left the yard. They've done that 4 times in their history, and one of the times was in the World Series, Paul. Remember when they beat up on the Phillies? They scored 15 runs. They didn't have a home run. And to show you how strange that game was, Al Leiter had a double.
You hope Al's not listening, huh?
No, I hope he is. Well, we've told the story before. He's going to second base, Paul, and trailing him is John Kruk, screaming at him, "It's not that easy. It's not that easy."
Believe me, I know all about it.
2-2.
It's got to be a little frustrating at bat for Garrett Cole. 2 quick strikes and then missed with 3 pitches. Now you're at full count and you've wasted a few pitches on Gurriel.
And now you've walked Gurriel. So Garrett did not have a walk in a 13 strikeout game against the Orioles, and now he starts up the second with a free pass. Here's Rowdy Tellez.
Yeah, you look at those numbers, and Tellez off to a horrible start. 0 for his first 21 at bats. Still looking for his first hit.
Paul, can you even imagine playing a full season and really never having a home? I mean, you're living out of some rental or a hotel. It's got to be wearing on a team. They made the playoffs last year dealing with that.
Yeah, it is tough. There's no doubt. I mean, especially when families are involved and your kids, and it's so nice to sleep in your own bed, and you get used to your home ballpark and your own fans, and it just goes along. It just goes down the line, and to start here in Dunedin in April, no problem. Get the warm weather. But then all of a sudden, when are we ever going to go home? Then we're just going to go to Buffalo, and who knows what happens at this point.
And you feel for the people of Toronto, too. This is a pretty fun team, and have not had a chance to see them except on television. 1-2. The Toronto Raptors are playing all their games in Orlando, and only the Toronto Maple Leafs are playing there because they don't have to leave the country the way the NHL schedule is. They're not in Orlando, I'm sorry, they're in Tampa, where the Lightning play. Now, Teoscar Hernandez, who's always been a thorn in the Yankees side, he is in COVID protocol because of contact tracing. So no positive test for Teoscar, but there was exposure, so he is again on the COVID list. There's no minimum stay. If he's okay tomorrow, then that's up the middle, and there's the first base hit for Tellez, as Gurriel will stop at second.
Well, again, the second consecutive hitter that Cole was able to get ahead of in the count, and then this could not put away. Ball 4, and then a base hit to Tellez. Again, there's the knuckle curve. Not a big break to it. Just kind of sits there, and the next thing you know, it's kind of chuck and duck. Get out of the way.
Well, they celebrate because they knew that 0 for 21, Paul. Everybody rides that.
Well, I tell you what, that's not the way any player wants to start the season. I mean, it just feels like it's an uphill climb at this point. You know, 0 for 4, 0 for 5, but 0 for 21. I mean, you can have a couple big nights and you're still below that 100 line.
Here is Alejandro Kirk. And the breaking ball is a strike.
Well, Kirk doesn't like that one. Looked like it was down and away. And Kirk's another guy. Triple zeros, 0 for 11 to start the. He is the backup. Jansen does most of the catching, but Kirk known for his offense. Off to an 0 for 11 start.
So again, he's up in the count 0-2, Paul, and he's had a couple of batters get away from him.
Yeah, he has not been able to get that slider down and away like he did against Baltimore, where, you know, you get a lot of swing and misses, and like a pitch that, you know, to put away hitters. He's allowed these guys to fight back into the count and then missed.
Strike 3. Kirk down looking. Second strikeout for Cole.
Well, much better pitch there. I mean, that ball hit just on the outside corner on the bottom of the strike zone. And again, this is when you set this pitch up. Very hard to pull the trigger. Great pitch.
And here is Palacios. Now, Palacios was cut from the Xaverian High School varsity team as a sophomore. So he transferred to Telcom and then helped lead the Yellow Jackets to their first PSAL City Championship ever. And he was the High School Player of the Year in New York City. Swing and a miss. Saturday was his second big league game. And his first hit ever was a bunt single. And he ended up going 4 for 4 with 4 runs scored. Grew up a Yankee fan. And now facing the Yankees. And here he is with his first hit. Hey, do what you do well. If you got the speed, get that first hit out of the way. Could not hold up. 1-2. Now you got a hit in your first at bat, right, Paul?
Yeah, first pitch. Sometimes that's the best thing. You don't have to think about it for a while.
First pitch. Look at you.
I didn't know anything. I'll just go up and swing. Hope you hit it.
One, two. Swing and a miss. High cheese. Palacios swings through. 2 away.
Derek Cole now with that strikeout has an opportunity to get out of this inning. At 98 above the strike zone. This Palacios not able to catch up.
Palacios with no batting gloves. Very rare to see that.
You know, a lot of times, Michael, you come up from the minor leagues, you know, you don't have those contracts yet. You might go out and buy a couple batting gloves, but it's not like you have boxes and boxes until you establish yourself in the major leagues.
Well, if you were a young kid with the Yankees back in the 90s, all you had to do was go to Jeter's locker. It was like a sporting goods store. You could get anything.
It certainly was. Oh, shoes and gloves. I mean, you could take stuff and he'd never miss it. So you were good to go.
All you had to do is be the same shoe size, and you're set. You're golden. And by the time he retired, he actually had 2 lockers just to keep all the extra stuff. Keeping Gurriel close.
I'll tell you what, if you watch Cole, when he throws a pickoff to second or first, he throws a bullet. It's not like he lets up and just guides it.
The 0-1. 1-1. So that's 40 pitches just in 2 innings for Cole. Nice block by Higashioka. Boy, the way they have that laid out at TD Ballpark, you've got the cardboard cutouts of people, and then real fans intersperse. It actually looks like a very big crowd. That's the real Aaron Boone. That's not a cutout. They're allowing 15% capacity. About 1,000 fans will be allowed in. 2-2. Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts for Cole as he gets out of...
Biggest concern in playing in a minor league ballpark would be the lighting. That was actually a concern of the Blue Jays and Major League Baseball. They knew they needed to do a little bit of work to get it up to Major League standards. And the biggest issue really was the height of the light stands. Balls could be lost above it. So as a result, they brought in 4 extra light towers to try to supplement it. Now, it's not going to be the same as a Major League stadium, but they have, of course, are trying their best. And they're also currently renovating Salem Field. So when they move to that field, it'll be more Major League ready than it was a season ago.
And that's supposed to be June 1st. So here is Higashioka to start off the 3rd inning. 1-0 Toronto over the Yankees. And Paul, you really can't get upset at anybody. This is not an ideal situation. The Blue Jays and Major League Baseball are trying to make the best of an awful situation. Same thing what they did last year in Buffalo, and they've made it work. I mean, they've made it playable. Fly ball left center. Grichuk puts it away. One down. So here's Tauchman getting a start. I really thought that we'd see Gardner again, especially because he played 2 pretty good games in a row. But they give the start to Tauchman in center. Oh and 1.
You can see how Ray kind of really turns his back and his body to a left-handed hitter. Make it very tough to pick up. It just hides the baseball, and it just whips and kind of just crossfires to that outside part of the plate.
One and 2.
Michael, that was the one that irritated me. That was the grunt changeup or breaky ball. You can't do that. That's only when you throw it hard.
That one's driven to left field right down the line, and the catch is made by Gurriel. Kind of fought that into his glove. 2 away. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Yankee Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Now, we're not there,
Michael.
Paul, but, I mean, that kind of looks dark, doesn't it?
It does. I was noticing LeMahieu on the on-deck circle as we had a side view, and the thing is, it's not dark at the plate, but they're dark spots, and you just don't have that illuminating light everywhere like you do in a Major League Stadium.
And you can make the argument, well, both sides have to deal with it, but the team that's there more often gets used to it. You know,
Sure.
John Flaherty was talking about it yesterday, Paul, that, you know, you used to tell him that you couldn't see the spin at Tropicana Field, but the Rays could because they were used to it.
You know, it was so funny because you would go in there for a 3-game series, and it was like game 1, no. Game 2, a little better. Game 3, okay, now I can see the ball, and then it was time to go. So you're right. It was a big home field advantage for the Rays.
Two and 2. LeMahieu struck out in the first inning, struck out looking. 2-2 count here with 2 outs in the third. Did he go? Yes, he did. So 2 strikeouts of LeMahieu, a 1-2-3 inning for Ray and the Jays. We go to the bottom of the third. His wife Amber with the Pride of the Yankees award. And for the first time, general admission tickets are available for this exclusive virtual event only at Yankees.com/dinner. So CeCe gets an award, as does his wife Amber. Both deserve it to the utmost extent because of the work they do. Since they moved to this area when he became a Yankee, and they stay in this area after he retired. So that should be a great event. Here's Bo Bichette. He singled to right and scored in the first inning. It's 1-0 Toronto. There's a strike. Opponents hit 193 against him. 2-1.
Starting to see some reactions from Cole where he's a little frustrated with his location. I mean, he's making some really good pitches now with his slider. Another one there. But he's really missed with a few. And, you know, you're just not after that last start where everything was spot on.
Still 2-2.
You know, Michael, we never really got to see this breaking ball again up in the strike zone. But again, never got to really sit and talk with Garrett Cole. Have you had any opportunity yet? Because last year we weren't allowed around the players. I assume it's the same now.
I actually had him on my radio show last week for about 20 minutes. He's fascinating because he loves the game so much. He's like a professor of baseball. He's so curious about everything. He has a reason for everything that he does. I'd love to be able to just stroll over to his locker and talk baseball with him. He's fascinating. He really is.
Yeah, I just noticed like his press conferences and stuff. It seems like he always, you know, says what you want to hear and says things that are meaningful. And I've really enjoyed listening to him talk about his craft, his pitching, and being with the Yankees.
Meredith, you've spoken to him a lot on Zoom. He doesn't phone in an answer. He gives a lot of thought to each and every answer.
Very thoughtful, and you can tell he's a perfectionist because even after his last outing, 7 innings, 13 strikeouts, did not walk a batter. He still continually said he can get better. There are things I can work on. He broke down certain sequences, and he's a guy that just wants to go out there and be the ace for his team. And in speaking to Aaron Judge after that game, he said there's generally just a different feel when Garrett Cole is on the mound. When he's out there and attacking hitters, the team really feeds off of him, and they know that he often does not require a ton of run support. So if you just put a run or two on the board early, they feel as though they're in a great position to win.
That one is driven out into right center field. Talkman's there. Reaches up to make the play. One away. I have noticed, Paul, and you're right, he's showing a lot of frustration with some of the pitches on the mound.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad pitch, but it's just not exactly where he wants it. And he knew if he got that ball off the plate, he'd get a strikeout. But he didn't, and it got fouled off. And then the next one he hung a little bit and got driven to right center field.
So here's Vlad Guerrero. He singled through the right side against the shift in the first inning. There's a strike. The at-bat for Bichette was a 9-pitch at-bat, and you know that Cole's trying to ring up some economical innings to stay in longer. It's at 53 pitches right now. 99 for a strike, 0-2.
It's interesting to me to watch him, and we watched him in the opening day series. Guerrero hit 2 or 3 balls high up in the strike zone. And you've seen everything down, and that's exactly what they're going to try to do to him, is pitch below that line. Michael, when you can pitch at 99, it doesn't matter exactly. If you throw it to a semi-good spot, you're going to get him. And the thing about this is Vlad, in the back of his mind, knows Garrett Cole has a great slider. Got to change it up 2 strikes, 99 right there.
So 5 strikeouts for Cole. And Gritchett fouls that one off his foot. 0-1. Pretty good pitching matchup tomorrow. Same time on Yes. You have Hyun-Jin Ryu going for the Toronto Blue Jays, and Jameson Taillon making his second Yankee start. Randall Grichuk with a 9-game hitting streak against the Yankees. And he picked up an RBI ground out in the first. Let's see where it got him.
Right on top of the foot. You saw Garrett Cole turn that over a little bit, take a little off, but it came in where you beat it down as a hitter right on your foot.
Two and one. Fly ball center field. Talkman's there and makes the play as Garrett Cole is retired 6 in a row. We'll go to the 4th inning. It's 1-0 Toronto. Tomorrow night on Yes, same time, same place, same matchup. Don't miss Game 2 of the series between the Bombers and the Blue Jays. Coverage starts at 6:30 with the DraftKings Yankees pregame. Then we've got the call right here on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. There's Giancarlo Stanton, 1-0.
Let's go!
1-1. Now we should note that after his second inning, we told you the batting average against for Cole. So Cole now has 500 innings as an American League pitcher. And after the third inning, it's 501. And his 193 batting average against is the lowest opponent's batting average against by any AL starter ever. Next up is Nolan Ryan at 198. Herb Score at 200. Grounded up the middle, backhanded by Semien. 2-away. Andy Messerschmidt, 203, and Pedro Martinez, 206. So you
Pretty good list
experienced
of guys, huh?
you experienced Nolan and Pedro, right?
Yeah, I didn't like either of them, to tell you the truth. Nice guys, I just didn't want to hit off of them.
Garrett Cole cooling off with that big fan. Aaron Judge takes low 1-0. There it is. Best in league history. One and one.
Again, you see that ball low in the strike zone. It's kind of going either way. Wendelstadt's been very good on the corners, but again, that ball down out of the strike zone, it's especially to Aaron Judge. You know, Michael, I don't know if that's just because it's warm, or you stay in the dugout, or if they don't even have a tunnel or a locker room to go to in that ballpark. I remember the locker room being out behind right field in the old days, so maybe the pitchers can't get into the locker room.
That one is ripped to left field. It is a foul ball.
Aaron Judge just a little too quick, and if you think about it, really not a lot of balls hit hard from the Yankees tonight. Ray's done a good job to stay away from the barrel. Little cut fastball. Judge beat him to the spot, but he just was able to hook him foul.
You know what that shot of Garrett Cole in the dugout taught me, Paul, that I didn't know? That a piece of double bubble gum is 15 calories.
Is that right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You got good eyes. You got your eyes on one of the two. Does your monitor blow stuff up for you? Because I can't see that.
3-2 and a walk to Judge. Third walk issued by Ray. Now between innings, the hitting cage is in the outfield, Paul. That's what the DH is doing.
Yeah. Exactly. I remember getting off the bus for spring training games. The locker room was behind the right field wall and the cages, obviously. So, you know, there are some things that you have to adjust to in this ballpark. You know what I remember about this ballpark, Michael, is you would get off the bus, you'd get dressed, and you'd walk out in the field, and you were almost blinded because the whole warning track, everything was this crushed like white shell. And it just absolutely, on a sunny day, you couldn't even see out there. And I've looked at, you know, around the warning track, and that's all been changed.
Fly ball right field. Palacios almost came back on him, and he did, and he caught it in the heel of the glove.
Yeah, Michael, you talked about it. These smaller ballparks, the wind can really affect the ball. You see, at the end of this play, you know, you're used to it, just a kind of a true fly ball, where this ball actually comes back a little bit and almost fools Palacios. Oh.
And the Yankee, the clubhouse, we found out, is in left field, so there is no place to go. For Garrett Cole, you have to sit in the dugout, not go up the runway. Up the middle, off the glove of Ray. Semien right there to make the play and end the inning. We've played 4. Yankees still looking for a hit. They're down 1-0. Trivia: 3 Yankee All-Stars were second-generation MLB players. Who are they? That means their dad played in the big leagues. So 3 Yankee All-Stars. Howdy scoreboard. 1-0 Toronto. This guy's dad was an All-Star. Nah, forget All-Star. He's a Hall of Famer. Here's Kevin Biggio. I was just thinking, Paul, it's sad. It seemed like you liked coming to the ballpark in Dunedin, and Mariano Rivera probably never saw it because he didn't take road trips in spring training.
No, he just listened to the stories of the bus rides. That was good enough for him.
He didn't even own a road gray uniform in spring training.
No, there was no faking anybody. Robert Kakuza would just throw pinstripes in there and in a practice jersey. That was good enough.
So just 1 run in the game. It happened in the first inning. Single to right by Bichette. Single to right by Guerrero, moving Bichette to third. Guerrero moved to second on a wild pitch. So with 1 out, shortstop and second baseman back. Simple ground out by Grichuk. And because Guerrero moved up on the wild pitch, there was no double play. That scored the run. That's where we are. 1-0. And through 4 innings, 4 at-bats for the Yankees, not a hit against Ray.
You know, Michael, in the scouting report, I was anxious to see if a changeup was just something that, you know, he didn't have a good slider opening day, so he went to the changeup, but he's definitely using it much more. There was back-to-back changeups there, so it is something that he's working on and you know, incorporating every game now.
Fly ball right field. Talkman's there on the warning track. He retires Biggio for the first out.
you're talking about that changeup, he used it really sparingly in 2018 and 2019. He felt as though some days it was good, others days he just didn't have a feel for it. But last year, he was actually forced to use it more when some of his other pitches weren't working, and it actually wound up being a blessing in disguise because he built up some confidence in that pitch. He now feels comfortable using it in any situation. So they kind of took that mentality from last year where they would attack a little bit more with the changeup into this year, and that's why you're seeing him using it a bit more.
Here's a strike.
Mare's on top of it, isn't she, Michael?
Absolutely. And did you see the pregame show today, Paul? She's got her Inspector Clouseau trench coat on because it's raining here in New York. She could find out anything when she's got that trench coat on.
Nice. Must be awful warm in the booth. I see. Sorry, Mary, but I see Audrey. She's only got one winter coat on tonight, so it must be fairly warm in that studio.
Paul, I have to admit I closed the windows and I have the space heater on.
And I have to admit, Paul,
nice.
I closed the windows too. It's kind of chilly. There's Meredith.
We are on even playing fields tonight. Look at that guy over there. Hey.
Grounded to short. I mean, it is a technological marvel that I could see Paul could see me, he could see Meredith. It's great. It's awesome. There he is in Studio 21.
We're doing the best we can here, huh? Look at this place. It's all lit up tonight. It's been dark for a week. I had to fire the lights up. Everything's good to go.
Everybody's together in a park. So that's somewhat of an economical inning for Cole as Tellez flies out. And Cole has retired 9 in a row. We go to the 5th inning now, and Cole has pitched well over 4 innings, but the Yankee offense completely shut down by Robbie Ray as we go to the 5th. They do not have a hit. Here is Clint Frazier, one of 3 Yankees who have walked. Torres, Frazier, and Judge. Those are the Yankee base runners. Oh and 2. First start for Ray, and he's pitched very well. Drops it in for a strike, and Frazier down looking.
How seldom do you see a major league hitter or see 3 pitches and not pull the trigger? Do you know what that music means, Michael?
We're going to get an answer.
I am stumped.
Me too.
I am stumped.
I don't think Dale Berra was an all-star with the Yankees, so it can't be him. Let's see. Robinson Cano, his dad, Jose. Nick Swisher's dad, Steve. And Tom Tresh, Mike Tresh. Wow. Great question. There's Rougned Odor. One and 0. Grounded into a force out at second base to end the inning in the 2nd. Rougned on Twitter took a screenshot of one of the shots we had of him on yesterday, and he just said, "Who's that?" I mean, it just doesn't look like the same guy that played for the Rangers. Well, limited amount of pitches being allotted to Robbie Ray, so Rafael Dolis, who was so effective against the Yankees in that first series, is starting to get loose. And there's the Yankees' first hit. Under the glove of Guerrero down the right field line. Palacios will fire the ball in, and Odor picks up the Yankees' first hit.
Then Odor, lefty on lefty, gets a pitch and just hooks it down the line. Looking for the Blue Jays. It didn't find the corner down there. Kind of a breaking ball. It just sits there. It enables him to pull this ball down the line. Get it by Guerrero.
Here's Kyle Higashioka. I don't know if you saw this, Paul, but, you know, because of the Yankee policy, he had to shave his beard, which was, you know, almost James Harden-like. And when he shaved, he said his 3-year-old daughter wouldn't even look at him. That's all she knew in her life.
Mm-hmm.
Long set by Ray. Big difference, huh?
Wow. That's the same guy, huh?
I mean, the only telltale sign is the ears are the same, but it's just he looks so much younger as a Yankee. You know, he had one of his more memorable moments against the Toronto Blue Jays, where he threw a punch against Jose Bautista in his introductory Zoom press conference. He was asked about it, and Meredith, that was the one thing he really didn't want to talk about. That he didn't want to talk about that incident with Bautista at all.
No, he very quickly went on to the next subject. He said, that's over with. I've talked about it before. I'm not into talking about that anymore. But I know when it was first announced that the Yankees had acquired him, it was something that David Cohn had brought up and remembered. And a lot of people remember him for that. And I think that bothers him a little bit, Michael. He doesn't want to necessarily be known for that.
I'll tell you what, though, Michael, when you think of it, Mike Tyson would have been proud of that one. There's a lot of pushing and shoving when you get in some of these brawls. There was no pushing and shoving there. That was a clean hook.
Yeah, that's the key, Paul. A lot of baseball fights, a lot of dancing. But that was a straight-on right hand. That one is driven deep to right center field. That ball is gone. A home run for Higashioka. A 2-run blast, and the Yankees are up 2-1.
Well, you just have to kind of marvel with the production you've been getting from Higgy over the past couple of years as the backup. And Garrett Cole, you saw him kind of pep-talking guys on the bench. Well, that's what he needs. Big 2-run homer to give him the lead.
Remember, last year he had 3 home runs against the Blue Jays, Higashioka, so he likes hitting against Toronto. That was a 3-home-run game. It was all in one game. So the Yankees finally get in the hit column with the Odor single, and then this.
Well, that fastball right there, and boy, that had a sound to it that we haven't heard tonight. Again, that cleared the wall easily. Still trying to figure out after they kind of did a facelift on this stadium if it's a hitter's ballpark. Well, that ball carried there.
Boy, our crowd, Mike Paul, must be right near a guy with leather lungs. I mean, you got to admire the commitment. You really do. A running commentary. I think Ray knew it.
Michael, you know now how it is to play in the minor leagues. I mean, you have so few fans in these smaller ballparks that you could always hear the one heckler that wanted to get on you all night.
I mean, when I would go to the ballpark, yeah, I'd be sitting in the last row of Yankee Stadium in the upper deck, and you'd yell occasionally. But to have the commitment to go for 9 innings strong, I mean, it's a special talent. Something to be admired. But in this case, Paul, you're telling me that the players could actually hear him.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you're in a smaller ballpark, a smaller venue, and you know, you can hear those voices, especially when they come out with some stuff that you don't want to hear.
That one is lined in the left center field. It's a base hit. 3 straight hits against Ray, and you wonder, Paul, he's starting to tire a bit in his first start.
Yeah, there's been 2 really good at-bats by lefties from the Yankees with Odor and now Tauchman, and with a home run in between. So, yeah, Michael, on your first start, you know, obviously a pitch count is definitely in play, and he's starting to miss out over the plate where he was getting everything in on the righties. Now he's starting to miss out over the plate.
Well, we told you he had a sim game on Wednesday at 63 pitches. I'm surprised he's at 81, and they're still letting him stay in there. I mean, usually you increase a pitcher in his first start 15 pitches from his previous outing. So he's over that right now as he drops in a breaking ball strike on LeMahieu.
Yeah, I think that he was making it look so easy that Montoya was just like, I'm going to let this guy go. But all of a sudden, boom, a home run and a couple hard hit balls. You know, that bullpen will be up and ready.
Yankees lead 2-1 on the Higashioka 2-run home run. Tauchman leads off first. And the 1-1. That one's grounded to short. There's 1. And there's 2. The stretch by Guerrero. And that'll do it. But the Yankees take the lead. 2 runs on 3 hits. The biggest blow off the bat of the Yankee catcher, Kyle Higashioka. Deep to right center. See ya. Gone. 2-1 lead.
We've seen some first basemen lean one way or the other. He at least is straddling the bag where he can go both ways. You're still receiving the ball like the catcher. So who knows? There might be a time and a place where he might have to play some innings at first base. You never know.
Thank you to our coverage cam. So now Cole has a lead as Kurt lines one right to her, shell on the hop across the diamond, and Alejandro Kirk still looking for his first hit this year.
Leading off an inning, a big break from Cole right there. Ball hit hard. If he can get through this inning, this is always a big inning after they get a couple runs for you.
There's Palacios.
You know, Michael, I got a question for you. So, you know, I grew up in Columbus and then went to Cincinnati, obviously. So when, you know, you have a star player, even a high school player, you know, the whole city basically knows of them. You follow them to the major leagues. Now, New York is so big. I mean, do you hear of guys like Palacio and guys that are, you start to put on the radar and follow them?
It's rare. I mean, maybe with a basketball player in New York, like an out-of-this-world high school basketball player, but in baseball, probably not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Daily News had done a story on Josh and his brother, so gave them some cred. That was in 2012, but again, there's so many pro sports in New York, so many pro sports teams.
Yeah.
I think it gets lost in the translation. You know, Manny Ramirez was a great player in New York. We heard some about him.
Mm-hmm.
2-2. 3-2. Swing and a miss, chased a pitch out of the zone. 2 away as Palacios down on strikes for the second time against Cole.
Again, this is a breaking ball, and you see it just hangs out of the strike zone, so he kind of gets away with one. Garrett Cole gets a strikeout, but we've talked about, his perfectionism. He wants it exactly where he's intended to go.
Semien with a high fly ball to left field. Frazier back. He's on the track, and he makes the play. And how about Garrett Cole? He's picked it up. He's retired 12 in a row. We go to the 6th. As the boys in blue kick off against DC United in Washington. Catch it Saturday beginning at 7:30 right here on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. TD Ballpark in Dunedin, the spring training home of the Toronto Blue Jays, but serving as the home of the Blue Jays as they have not been able to get back into Toronto. Rafael Dolis will take over for Robbie Ray, who had 4 very strong and then ran into some trouble in the 5th. A lot of people have checked in with me, Paul, about some high school players that got some love in New York City. Sean Dunston, who was actually drafted ahead of Dwight Gooden.
Right.
Pedro Alvarez, who played for Horace Mann. First-round draft pick. He got some love. So if you're certainly great, you do get some notice, but I don't think as much as you would in a smaller town.
Yeah, I had that question because you go back to, growing up in Cincinnati, you had Griffey and you had, Barry Larkin, and the whole city kind of like rallies around these guys, follow them through the minor leagues, through the major leagues. And it's fun. You always have your homegrown, hometown people that you root for.
Dolis has good stuff, but boy, he is a deliberate pitcher. Takes his time between pitches, but his stuff is very good.
No doubt. Overpowering fastball, started him off with a breaking ball, and then he has that split finger that just drops off the table. Very tough to get any kind of rhythm on what he's going to throw, and he is overpowering if you're looking off speed.
Swing and a miss. Stanton down on strikes.
You see the end of this pitch, a little movement in, two-seamer right in under his hands. Stanton just can't get to it. That is how you pitch. Big, strong power hitters is right under their hands. Don't let them extend that bat, that arms.
Strike on a fastball to Judge. Judge walked his last time up in the first inning, a fly ball to right. A check swing by Judge, 1-1. We're in the 6th inning. It's 2-1 Yankees. Kyle Higashioka with a 2-run home run. He has 11 career home runs. 4 of them have come against the Toronto Blue Jays. Two and one. Gleyber Torres on deck. Waved at that one, did Judge. 2-2.
Yeah, the pitch before, kind of the same pitch, just missed, but that one, you show it to him again, you're just not able to hold up.
Line foul. Two. 3-2. And a walk on a very close pitch by Aaron Judge. Here's Gleyber Torres. Gleyber got a big hit in the 8th inning yesterday. That tied the game at 4. That was a gigantic base hit. There's a grounder to third. There's one on to first, and around the horn double play off the bat of Gleyber Torres. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning in Dunedin. Yankees lead 2-1. Garrett's been electric.
Well, I tell you what, this is what you expect from him. I mean, it's a 2-1 game, and this is the guy that you want on the mound. So far, 17 out of his first 19 hitters have been strikes that he's pitched ahead, has not put away. He had one tough inning, the 2nd inning, where he had 25 pitches. Other than that, he's been great.
Bottom of the 6th, so he's kind of gotten his pitch count under control. And here is Bichette, who scored the only run for the Blue Jays. That was in the 1st inning. By the way, the double play ground ball off the bat of Gleyber Torres, the Yankees' 11th double play that they've grounded into. And that ties San Diego for the Major League lead. Two and one.
And I think we'd classify this as one of those games, a stressful game on a pitcher, Michael. I mean, you're pitching most of it from behind, 1-0. Your offense isn't going. Now all of a sudden you get a big home run, but still 2-to-1 game every single pitch is important, and that puts a lot of stress on top pitchers because they know they might not get any more.
I'm just thinking, Paul, as I saw that shot of the crowd. I mean, how often does a fan get to be that close to a Major League Baseball game? Yeah, in spring training you do, but if you're one of the 1,500 that got into this ballpark, that's a special treat to be that close to a game that counts.
Yeah, and it gives you kind of like courtside at the NBA. It gives you a vision that you don't see a lot. I mean, when you see Aaron Judge on the on-deck circle that close, or Stanton, it really paints a picture how big, how strong, how fast this game goes. And I agree, Michael. It's exciting for fans, but you know what? There's nothing like playing in front of 50,000 people.
I'm sure for the players, but think about it. Imagine if you saw an NBA game in a high school gym. That's essentially what this is, as Bichette swings and misses one away.
Tell you what, that was one of Cole's best fastballs of the night, down and away at 99. Like I said, he knows every single pitch is important, and that's a tough way to pitch. And you see Bichette, a good fastball hitter, just beat on that one.
Here's Guerrero. He's 1 for 2. You know, as good as the Blue Jay lineup is, before they scored the 15 runs against the Angels, they'd lost 4 in a row and they weren't scoring at all. And they were hoping that 15-run outburst was going to be something that turned their fortunes, because up and down the lineup they have people that can rake, but has not been the case. Same thing with the Yankees. They haven't hit that well either.
Mm-hmm.
One and two.
Well, a huge inning for Cole as you look at Bichette, Guerrero, and Grichuk. You know, the meat of their order. You figure with his pitch count, probably the last time he'll see the meat of the order tonight. And to get through this inning would be a huge feather in the cap for the Yankees.
And with his pitch count now at 91, this probably his last inning, unless they really want to push him in his third start of the year, and certainly a possibility, but we'll see how he deals with Guerrero and then Grichuk. And there's nobody warming in the pen as we speak. 2-2. Just missed outside.
Now that's the slider right there that Garrett Cole was used to seeing guys wave at. Guerrero very patient not to give in to that.
And that one's chopped over the mound. Gleyber Torres makes the play. 2 away. And that's going to bring up Randall Grichuk.
Well, Michael, you went over the numbers and the amount of home runs that Grichuk has hit over his career against the Yankees. And Garrett Cole, I'm sure, is aware. A very dangerous at bat here, dangerous hitter towards the end of the game. You know, you want to put these guys away. Aaron Boone would love to see him get through this inning unscathed.
One and one. 1-2.
He's been much better late with that slider than he was early in the game, Michael. You see that ball right on the outside corner where he was kind of getting that over the middle of the plate early. That's where you get a lot of swing and misses.
Now, Cole has 28 strikeouts in his first 3 starts. The Yankee record for most strikeouts in the first 3 starts of the season is held by David Cone. He had 29 in his first 3 starts in '97, so a strikeout here would tie Cone. David, you have company. He strikes out Grichuk, and another 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 15 in a row. We go to the 7th. Is this a good job? Your night is done? I think it is, because Justin Wilson is warming in the Yankee bullpen.
Yeah, you know, if this was a 6-0, 7-0 game, or he had a lot of easy innings, maybe you'd let him go another one. Who knows? But, I mean, this was a stressful game, and I think Garrett Cole got much better the second part of his outing than he was early in the game. So this is just one of those games he's going to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I found it. I got better. And I finally got a lead, and I kept it. Great job by Garrett Cole.
Yeah, 98. They can't push him that much more, Paul. It just doesn't make sense. Not the 3rd start of the year. Urshela did not like that call. Kind of shrugged. Wilson about ready. The Yankee bullpen has been used a lot in the first 9 games. See Kirk trying to sell that. It was not fouled off the foot, and that Urshela had interfered, but the umpire right there.
You know, Michael, it was interesting because Urshela, you said first pitch kind of shrugged on that, and it just goes to show you, you know, every ball that, you know, players question are usually just off the plate or just under the strike zone. And, you know, we have that box now so you can see it. It just goes to show, you know, the ability of a major league hitter to know what is a strike and what's a ball.
Grounded to Bichette. 1 away. That brings up Clint Frazier, who walked in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 5th. One and 0.
This is one of those at bat that Clint Frazier just looks like he did not pick up the ball off of Ray all night. And, you know, he knows in the back of the mind that, you know, I missed the last couple days. I got to get it going. And it's when you squeeze the bat a little bit tighter, try to make things happen, but at least not an easy matchup. So tough at bat. And you just see Frazier is not able to pull the trigger tonight. To me, remember, as a hitter, you're just not picking the ball up. And all of a sudden, you know, you're 1 strike, 2 strikes, and you haven't even passed at the ball.
Checked his swing. Did he go? No, he did not, said Eric Backus.
I agree with him there. What do you think, Michael?
I agree as well.
You and I agree on something? Come on.
Yeah,
Things have really changed, huh?
We have to reset. Grounded to 3rd. Biggio. 2 away. Seventh inning, first game of a 3-game set.
You don't know how this game's going to end up, but, it's just on paper 2 good offensive teams that are just not rolling yet offensively. Toyo going to the pen. Come on, Michael, take us to break.
Barucki against Odor when we get back. Stay tuned, Paul. Seed in the East. Coverage for that game starts at 6:30 right here on Yes and streaming on the Yes app. That 1 seed's going to be important. Ryan Barucki is important for the Blue Jays as they bring him in to face Rougned Odor. Odor broke up a no-hitter through 4 1/3 with a single to right, Paul, and then Higashioka with the 2-run home run, and so his second hit is a Yankee.
Yeah, Barucki, another guy we saw in that open series that we were impressed with his fastball, mid-90s, big lefty.
Now, Barucki went through what Gio Urshela on the Yankees and Lourdes Gurriel on the Blue Jays went through. He was on the COVID IL for a couple of days this weekend because he had a fever and some fatigue after receiving the COVID vaccine. But he's okay on the mound right now. 0-2.
After 95, then you get a little slider away. This is not where you want to be as a left-handed hitter off a big lefty. 0-2.
Did you see right behind Paul it was Dan Levy and Eugene Levy? It's the cast of a show I don't think I could say the name of, but the last name is Creek, that won all those awards.
I got your point.
And they're all Canadian, so the Blue Jays have them in the seats as cutouts.
Yeah, Michael, you're very lucky Coney's not in the booth tonight. He'd have filled it in the blanks for you.
Yeah, he would have.
No doubt about it.
I'm erring on the side of caution, but it was a great show. Let's put it that way. Al Leiter's there, too.
Yeah, what's he doing up there?
The whole MLB crew is there. And Odor grounds out to second. Yankees go down in order. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Enjoy the Creek. I just can't say that out in the first. That's the Jays' only run. And the Yankees' only 2 runs. Kyle Higashioka, and he hit a 416-foot 2-run home run to the opposite field in the 5th inning. So Brett Gardner will take over in left field for Clint Frazier as the Yankees tighten up the defense and turn to the left-hander Justin Wilson in relief of Cole, who threw 98 pitches over 6 innings, and as Jack Curry just mentioned, retired the last 15 in a row. So first up is Biggio. One and 0. Fly ball, right field, so they try out Gardner right away. 1 down. Well, time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. Tonight's picture comes to us from Spencer S. He is a longtime season ticket holder who is passing along his love of the Yankees to his daughters. Very nice. It's a family affair. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Post your picture to social media to reflect your love for the Yankees, and we might spotlight you in a future game. Gurriel takes outside from Wilson. High pop-up. Shallow center. Coming on is Talkman, now backing up, and he puts it away for the second out.
It's an example of one of those high fly balls that Meredith was talking about earlier in the game that sometimes can be lost. And I think Talkman actually did lose this for an instant.
Here's Rowdy Tellez. The fan is still in great voice in the 7th inning.
I looked at that. I'm like, how did he call that a strike? I thought it was the umpire.
It's unbelievable, Paul. A couple of years of broadcasting, I had a vocal cord surgery. That guy's going to yell for the rest of his life and be fine.
Exactly.
The 1-1. Two and two. Wilson started the year on the IL. Some tightness in his shoulder that he felt in spring training. They wanted to handle it slowly, not rush him. He felt he could have started the season, but it was probably advisable to just take it slow. They did, and now he's fine. The count is full.
This is a prime example why he is so important to the Yankees right now, to get him back. But Zach Britton not in the bullpen at this point. I mean, obviously you have to get to the 8th and 9th inning. A 2-1 game. This is a big opportunity.
Right in on the hands, foul back.
To me, that is the toughest pitch in baseball to hit for a lefty. That two-seamer in on your hands just keeps coming in. You cannot get the bad head to it.
Alejandro Kirk is on deck if Tellez can get on. Well, you can see the lighting's not perfect there because Higashioka looks like he has some silver paint on his fingers to make them a little easier to look at and see from the pitcher's mound. We'll see when he gives a sign. He knows we're waiting, so he's really going to milk it. There you go. Three-two. Sliced. On one hop to Urshela. Across the diamond, and a 1-2-3 inning for Justin Wilson as the Yankee bullpen continues to deal. We go to the 8th inning, and we'll take a look at the exit velocity on his home run presented by Spectrum Mobile. Go to SpectrumMobile.com today. 104.7. Off the bat, and a 416-foot drive, and that's the Yankee scoring in this game. And Barucki deals a strike. Looks like he went around on that one 0-2. Merriweather and Thornton warming. Merriweather's been pretty much unhittable this year, early going, as he has emerged as the Blue Jays closer. High drive, deep left center field. See ya! A long home run for Higashioka, his second of the night, and it is 3-1 Yankees.
I'll tell you what, again, Higgy puts a great swing on one, and the ball, you just had to pause at the end. Michael, you couldn't even say see ya when you wanted to. It just kept going. What a night for Higgy.
Fifth home run against the Blue Jays, 12 in his career. So he loves the exchange rate.
Sharp as ever, Michael.
There's Talkman.
The little two-seamer kind of runs out, and when you see that two-seamer up in the strike zone, it kind of sails instead of sinks. Brookie knew exactly with the sound where that was going.
Higashioka always showed power in the minor leagues, Paul. They knew he could hit home runs. And now showing that he has an affinity for hitting home runs against the Blue Jays as Talkman goes down on strikes. You know what happened on this date in 1993, right, Paul? You have any idea?
I don't know.
I think you do.
Give me a hint.
Okay, it involves you. It involves your first game ever at Yankee Stadium as a Yankee.
Nice mullet.
Against Coney.
And David Cohn's on the hill. We can talk about it all we want now. He's not in the booth.
4 for 4, Paul, in your Yankee Stadium debut.
Seems like yesterday, Michael. Not really, but I could say that.
And you started in left field. Tartable was in right. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Boy, did things
Move
change.
over, Tartable. I'm coming over sometime soon.
Introducing the Land Rover Defender. Just the thing for those little everyday trips. Good in heavy traffic. Perfect for catching up with the relatives. And dropping into the car wash en route. Giving someone a helping hand. Or beating the commute. And putting your feet up after a long day.
Answered. Take the left flank. Boomer, take the right. Blade, buses, you're out. Homework. At bedtime. Off you go.
But Sarge.
That's an order.
Fine. So lame. Mom!
At Spectrum, we think you know best. So Spectrum Advanced In-Home Wi-Fi lets you decide who connects and when, right from your phone.
Deal's a deal, Corporal. Very funny.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Race in for a great deal on the redesigned Honda Accord. Only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
So, after the strikeout of Talkman, they bring in Trent Thornton. This will be his third game. He'll face the top of the Yankee order, starting with DJ LeMahieu. Oh and 1. Rough night for LeMahieu so far with 2 strikeouts, and he grounded into a double play. Darren O'Day. He's next up in the pen. Yankees lead 3-1, or Kyle Higashioka leads 3-1. And how about that? A 3-strikeout game for DJ LeMahieu. What are you seeing from DJ? I mean, the numbers aren't terrible, Paul, but he doesn't look like he looks, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, he's usually inside the ball, and you just look that front foot. He's out on his front side just a little quick, which doesn't allow him to stay inside the baseball. But it's a quick fix for him. It's not something that he gets in problems with very often. Just looks like he's getting out on his front side a little bit too quick at this point.
Stanton swings and misses, 1-1. Stanton's 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of ground balls and a strikeout. Last 3-strikeout game came in August of 2019. And his strikeout percentage is the 5th lowest in the majors. Palacios runs out of room. Just missed. Chop the third. Biggio gets Stanton, and that will do it. You interested in seeing Higashioka home run dossier against the Blue Jays? Well, September 16th of last year, he hit 3. Today, he hits 2. That's 5. Yeah, you don't work for ESPN. Let's listen to the music. I know Paul likes it. With the show.
Oh, Lord, if I got to hear you sing, I might have to go to a different broadcast.
Yes,
it's funny. When we came back, I saw the Michael Kay show at the bottom of the screen. I'm like, he can't read his own show. Meredith, I appreciate that. That was nice of you.
Anytime, Paul. People helping people. We're teammates up here.
That's right. That's right.
Darren O'Day comes in for the Yankees, and Joe Panic will pinch hit for Alejandro Kirk, and Panic takes a strike. Every time Joe Panic comes up somewhere, Ryan Ruocco is inching up on his couch, watching his buddy hit. Oh, and 2.
Gotta be tough at bat for Ryan Ruocco. He's such a huge Yankee fan, but then Panic's a good buddy. So who are you rooting for?
You know what? Knowing Ryan, he'll handle it this way. I just want to see him hit the ball sharply and get an out.
Yeah. Get a base hit, get thrown out, going for 2 or something like that.
Maybe something like that. It's a conundrum. The 0-2 upstairs. Now that's conflict right there. You got the Blue Jay cap on top of the Yankee cap while wearing the Yankee pinstripes. You can't lose, really, Paul.
A little confused.
That almost encapsulates what Rucco's going through right now. Strike three. Panic goes down. One away. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Here's Josh Palacios. He has struck out twice, both of those at bats against Garrett Cole. You know, we've talked about this a lot with O'Day coming in. He seems like he has something to get out lefties, Paul. What's he doing to get out lefties? Because usually those sidewinders have trouble against the opposite side.
Yeah, he has the ability to get the ball in on lefties and still kind of jam him because, you know, as a left-handed hitter, when you can just lean, if you look at that pitch right there, you could just lean out and hit that sidearm sinker the other way. They don't have any option other than to show you inside and then try to get you out of the way. But he has the ability right here to throw strikes on lefties inside and keep them honest.
Why isn't it a problem, though, Paul, that, you know, a lefty could get a real long look because of the way he's coming by way of third?
You know what? His velocity is a little bit, a tick or two up than most guys there from that sidearm angle. And obviously he has a ton of movement. That ball actually kind of upshooted and rose. But, you know, he just has a knack of putting the ball where he wants. Doesn't miss out over the plate.
Fly ball left field. Gardner's right there, 2 down. So he retired 2 lefties in a row to start the 8th, and now to the top of the order in Semien. Semien 0 for 3 tonight. Fouled out to the catcher, struck out, and a fly ball to left. He has 3 home runs this year with 5 ribbies, but hitting .190. 0-1. One and one. Line to left field. It's a base hit in front of Gardner. So a 2-out single, and that'll bring up Bo Bichette.
Again, it's about location. You see this ball got up in the strike zone a little bit, so he gets a little longer look at it and hooks it into left field. And remember now, 3-1 game. All of a sudden, now tying run coming to the plate. You know, Toronto has not shown anything offensively now, but still, dangerous times here. Every single out in a close game.
Paul, that single by Semien broke a streak of 20 straight Blue Jays retired by Yankee pitching. 15 of them by Cole, 3 of them by Wilson, 2 of them by O'Day. 1-0. Missed outside, 2-0. Higashioka called time there.
You know, you saw that sequence there where Hickey gave 3 separate signs where O'Day, it just goes, he's a veteran pitcher. He is not going to throw something he doesn't want. He has an idea what he wants to do with every pitch. Going to call his own game.
Now 3-0, and the dangerous Guerrero is on deck. And he walked him on 4 pitches, so he gets the 2 lefty batters and then gives a single to Semien and a walk to Bichette, and that brings up Guerrero as the go-ahead run. Now Blake's going to come out and talk with Darren O'Day. And Luis Cessa getting ready in a hurry. So Guerrero with a single right in the first. Struck out in the third, grounded to short in the 6th. We're in the 8th inning. Yankees lead 3-1 on the strength of 2 Kyle Higashioka home runs. Semien's at second, Bichette's at first. O'Day on the mound. Third Yankee pitcher, Garrett Cole went 6. Missed outside, so 5 in a row out of the zone. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
See O'Day, so much confidence of going away from those righties, even after throwing 5 consecutive balls. Another good pitch right off the outside corner.
One and 2.
You know, from what I've seen so little of Guerrero, it seems like he loves the ball up in the strike zone. It's very tough to get him out. On opening day, him lacing one off Cole up in the strike zone. This is a ball that he must see very well.
One, 2. Swing and a miss, got him. And O'Day works into and out of trouble. No runs a hit. and 2 men left on base. A big strikeout of Guerrero. Sidearm, and out we go to the ninth.
After balking Bichette, he misses away. Went back to a good slider here. Dangerous pitch here, though. Got it up in the strike zone. Vlad wanted that one back to a good slider. Huge out for the Yankees from O'Day.
And by getting into a little trouble, Paul, he cleared the top of the order. In all likelihood for Chapman, who now has to face Grichuk, Biggio, and Gurriel. Certainly no walk in the park. Danny Jansen takes over behind the plate because Kirk was pinch hit for by Joe Panic. So Thornton in for his second, or his first full inning. He got the final 2 outs of the 8th. And the count 0-1 on Judge. Judge has walked twice and a fly ball to right. Oh, 0-2. And there's Chapman getting ready.
Michael, we got issues here. I haven't figured out what, but we got some issues.
I think we do. I don't know what it is. We're checking, obviously, with replay command.
Did Judge possibly hit the catcher's mitt?
Well, the crew chief is there, Jerry Lane, and the home plate umpire, Hunter Wendelson. So this is under review for something. You know, hitting the catcher's mitt, that's the only thing I could think that they'd be looking for catcher's interference. But, well, let's take a look at the swing ourselves. Let's see if we can see anything. I don't know, Paul.
I didn't see it.
Maybe this angle?
It clearly didn't hit the catcher's glove.
And Judge didn't turn around and say that it hit it. He just turned around to get the carom off the backstop. It had to be that. I can't picture anything else.
Right.
It didn't even come close to the glove.
Oh. You know, Michael, I heard yesterday, I was listening to the game on my Yes app, I have to tell you, that Flash was saying he felt so comfortable when he got to pull that mask down. You could still say that after watching a play like that?
Yeah, I think it went deeper than that, Paul. There were a lot of layers of onion were peeled off there. Ground ball to third. Biggio. One away. I mean, I drove home and I thought I should have charged him an hourly rate because he was getting a lot off his chest.
It was his first time in the booth. He had the mic. He could get it all off his chest. You're right. Great play down there by Biggio. And again, he has made some good plays, both in that opening series And Vlad is still having issues over there at first base with that stretch.
Pitch up and away to Gleyber Torres. Gleyber's 0 for 2 with a walk. Wrapped into a double play. In fact, the Yankees have hit into 3 double plays tonight. 11 on the season, which is tied with San Diego for the most in baseball. That's who's coming up against Chapman, Grichuk, Biggio, and Gurriel. And what they've done against Chapman in their career. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Hey fans, stream the Yankees on the Yes app anywhere you go, presented by T-Mobile. That's where Paul was watching yesterday.
I felt so cool sitting in the barber chair, getting a little tightened up before my next television. And then just sitting there, the lady said, "Are you watching the game?" I said, "Yeah, I'm on my Yes app." Just like it was nothing. Felt like such a good kid, huh?
You got to tighten up the jam just before TV.
You know what? When we wear these headphones all night, it can get ugly. You can look like Kramer by the end of the night. It can grow.
Well, you've been close to Kramer, so you know. You promised 2 home runs.
Yeah, they ripped me off, right? Gave me an error on one, wasn't that it?
Yeah. Three-2. Swing and a miss. Torres down on strikes, 2 away.
A little cut fastball, and you see with 2 strikes, he's still a little long, a little big. Every once in a while, when Gleyber struggles, I like to see him get 2 strikes because he'll cut it down and shorten up a little bit. But right there, good pitch to hit, swung right through it.
One and two. And the pitch to Urshela upstairs. Going into the bottom of the 9th inning, the Yankee bullpen has had 12 straight scoreless innings, so Chapman's going to try to keep that rolling and nail this down. He pitched well in the 9th yesterday and got the win in the game. So 3-2 on Urshela. Gio is 0 for 3 with 3 ground balls, hit into 1 double play tonight. Now, Mesa is warming up. Gardner is on deck. Remember, he took over for Frazier in left field. So if they lose Urshela, they'll probably go to Mesa to face Gardner. And then you have Odor after him. Just missed low. Thornton wanted that one, but good at bat for Urshela. Good eye to work the walk. And Charlie Montoya will go for the left-hander. He must have been listening. So Mesa will come on against Gardner with 2 outs and a runner on. Yankees lead 3-1, trying to build on that. as Chapman continues to get ready to pitch the bottom of the 9th inning. So Thornton retired 4 in a row, and then he lost Urshela. And now it'll be Gardner against Meza. What's he throws reactions from today's series opener? Plus, catch the manager's report with Aaron Boone. That's all coming up on the WB Mason postgame. It's right here on Yes. Well, the Blue Jays carry 3 left-handers in their bullpen. We've already seen Ryan Borucki, one of them. Now here's Tim Meza. The other one is Tommy Malone. And they carry 6 righties. So Meza will come on to face Brett Gardner. 5th pitcher used by the Blue Jays. This will be the 4th game pitched by Meza. Gardner off to a good start. Strong OPS of 947. Started the previous 2 games, came in for defense in this one. Fastball is low, 1-0.
Spectrum Mobile. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Just $45.
There's a strike. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And there was nobody covering third base. And Meza runs over as Urshela takes second. So he just got a walking lead. So then the shortstop is covering, and they had a shift on, and there was nobody covering third, but the pitcher picked up and got there. So a stolen base for Urshela.
It's one of those cheat steals where you just take a chance and go on first movement with the lefty, especially with 2 outs. Brett Gardner has an opportunity, just a base hit to score another run.
3-2. Strike 3. Gardner down looking. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. Now the Blue Jays have to deal with that man, Aroldis Chapman. He's got a new pitch, a new toy. And oh yeah, he throws over 100 miles an hour. This should be fun.
Unbelievable. And this is what the nature of baseball has gone to. The power arms in the bullpen. Strikeout pitchers. It's no longer matchups. It's just guys that throw the ball by you. It makes it very difficult for hitters late in the game.
Now this is Chapman's 4th game, and it's his first save opportunity. So he closed out the 7-0 win against Baltimore. Wednesday he pitched the 9th inning of a tie game against Baltimore. He was 1-2-3 with 3 strikeouts. And he pitched the scoreless 9th yesterday in a tie game. Another 3 strikeout inning, working around a double. So it's the first time since his 2010 rookie season that it's taken him 4 games to get a save chance. At that time, Francisco Cordero was closing for the Reds. Now, his new toy that I talked about going into break is the splitter. So we've seen him throw that splitter 6 times, Paul, so far this season. And hitters are 0 for 4 against it with 4 strikeouts.
You talked earlier in the game about Garrett Cole trying to add a changeup, and now he's confident with that. Well, it didn't take Chapman long to be confident with that split finger, and it's just not a get-me-over pitch. It can be nasty.
So Chapman trying to close out a game the Yankees lead 3-1. He starts off Grichuk with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball a bit low. And that one is wrapped into center field, and it's off the glove of a diving Tauchman. And backing up is Gardner, and Grichuk starts with a double.
You know what, Grichuk, we've talked about it. I mean, this ball's hit hard, but, you know, it's a good gamble for Tauchman. You're up 2 runs here. You know, it's a 50-50 play. If you come up with it, good break for Chapman. But here, Grichuk just centers it up. Tauchman gets a good jump, makes up his mind he's going to go for it. Just couldn't come up with it. Just off the end of his glove.
And by the way, Paul, I just got an alert from MLB that the review that they were looking at was in fact for catcher's interference. And it was confirmed that there was no catcher's interference. Perhaps the Yankees thought there was. Biggio takes a strike from Chapman.
But you feel good, but we were all over that, Michael. We just figured it out, right?
That's right. Masters of deduction. Big lead for Grichuk. Fly ball. Left field. Gardner is there to put it away for the first out.
You look at those numbers, Gurriel, much better hitter than that, so you still got to be careful, especially in this situation.
Oh, 101 right on the lower part of the zone for a strike. Cole started. Wilson, O'Day, and now Chapman.
You know, there's some things in sports, Michael. You know, if you take basketball, it's the tomahawk dunk, and you take golf, you can drive one over 300 yards. Imagine just the ability to throw one at 101 whenever you want. It's just one of those things, right?
And then that. A strikeout of Gurriel. I think it's more impressive to hit that than to throw it. I don't know how people hit it.
Well, this is a slider. No, it's not. That is a splitter. And boy, it does. It has movement at the end. Wow.
Well, here's a guy with power, Rowdy Tellez. Picked up his first hit of the year after 21 at-bats, a single to center in the second, then a fly ball to left and a ground ball to third. Last chance for the Blue Jays, 102 in the dirt, 1-0. Tomorrow night, these same two teams go at it again. Hyunjin Ryu against Jameson Taillon. Pre-game at 6:30, game time right around 7. Join all of us again for the fun. Yankees 1 out away from nailing this down. Two 2-0. And then on Wednesday, it's a 107 start. You have Kluber against Stripling. Nasty pitch. There's a strike. Carving the lower part of the zone. And the pitch. And the Blue Jays are down to their final strike.
Well, this is probably the best pitch he's going to see. This ball is kind of belled high right down the middle. A mistake by Chapman, and he got away with it.
Two balls, two strikes, two outs. Runner at second. Yankees up by 2. Bottom of the 9th inning. First game of a 3-game set from Dunedin. Grichuk leads off second. Tellez at the plate. Chapman on the mound. The veteran lefty deals. Strike 3. Ball game is over, and the Yankees win 3-1.
Well, again, I mean, it's a Yankees pitching, starting with Garrett Cole and the Kyle Higashioka show with the offense, and they pretty much just stole this game. They shut down the Blue Jays' bat. Good way to start the series.
This is the final pitch. Tellez thought it was a little bit low. It might have been, but Hunter Wendelstedt saw it as a strike on the lower part of the zone. And then Chapman with the famous stare that tells you, yeah, I got it, and you don't. Yankees win 3-1. First game of this 3-game set. We'll talk